Hi guys and welcome back to a new video. In today's video I want to talk about a major news that we just got from WoW and that is going to change, in my opinion, the way people make gold in World of Warcraft forever. As you can see in patch 10.1.5, Blizzard is planning to introduce cross-realm trading and free trading to any realm within a region. As you can see, they explain that players will now be able to trade items and gold directly to characters on other realms in their region. Previously, this was limited to things like conjured items or eligible raid dungeon loot, but all those cross-realm restrictions will now be lifted. So this means that you will now be able really to sell items on any realm in your region without having to use, for instance, character transfers and things like that, and that you will also be able to directly transfer gold on any realm. So I think this is something that is really interesting. There are some positives and there are definitely also some negatives. So when it comes to the positives, of course, as I already mentioned, it means that you won't have to then pay for character transfers and things like that in order to have one item and try to get it on another realm. Same with gold, which sometimes is a little bit annoying. Even with the region-wide auction house, it can take some time. And sometimes you will have to actually ask people to lend you some gold on one realm and give them more on your initial realm. So for this type of things, I think that's good. And of course, for people who just want to play on multiple realms, I think it's just going to make it easier for them. Another very positive thing I would say is also now people won't be limited to their auction house and their markets. So for instance, when you are farming different type of items, even if the value is really bad on your realm, what you can do is simply farm these different items on this realm where probably you have your level 70 characters and you can do all these different farms. And then you can simply create another character on another realm and then trade these different items and sell them there where it's more expensive. Because sometimes on some realms you can have items that will sell for 4,000 gold and on other realms for 200,000 gold. So definitely it means that right now you won't be limited anymore in terms of farming and everything, and any type of farms kind of become relevant for everyone. Because again, keep in mind, for instance, even if you need your gold on realm A, what you can do is simply sell the item on realm B, and then as soon as it sells, you can take the gold and directly trade it back to realm A for free. So really, it means that you can do that on any realm. So it's actually really insane. But then from a gold maker perspective, I think this is going to be pretty rough. The first thing that really comes to mind for me is the fact that any of the crafted items and any of these type of things is probably going to be overflooded now because people who are crafting these items and who want to go on any realm, before that again, they had to take into consideration that, you know, they had to invest in a character transfer, it cost some gold and everything. So they couldn't really go on any realms, and also they had to be a little bit more careful with the prices and the value that they would set on these different realms. But now that people will actually be able to craft items and then send them on any realm, I think unfortunately a lot of markets are going to crash completely. As you can see, just to illustrate my take on that, if you take for instance the High Society Top Hats, this is a cosmetic item, this is very easy to craft. And as you can see, the value is going to vary a lot from one realm to another. Here, for instance, on some realms, it's literally going to sell for 500, 1000 gold and everything. When on other realms, it's selling for 200 gold, 200,000 gold, 100,000 gold. And the thing is, trust me, they do sell at this price. But the truth is that even at 1 or 2,000 gold, you might still be able to actually make some profit, especially with the region-wide auction house. So what's going to happen, in my opinion, is that the people who are willing to even just make 1 or 2,000 gold profit might just go on most of these other realms and start selling their items there as well. Probably for a higher price, but as soon as there's going to have a little bit of competition, they're probably going to start breaking the market again. So unfortunately, I think for items that are pretty easy to get or easy to craft, there's going to have a lot of people willing to just simply gather all these different items and then send these items on another realm very easily. And like that, they will be easy to then start selling these items, even if it means that the prices are going to drop. Of course, this doesn't affect as much the different items that are a little bit more difficult to get, the ones that are more rare and everything, because people won't simply be able to go on every realm and to actually be a huge competition for all these other realms. For instance, a good example I think is the Goldmain's reigns. This is the mount. As you can see on most realms, it's going to be around 500,000 gold. On some realms, unfortunately, you have bots who are directly farming these mounts, and so they are posting all these different gold mains reigns for like 100,000 gold. I think here, even though I'm pretty sure that, for instance, if these different bots like can do that all day long, they'll probably try to also go directly on other realms and just like directly start doing that everywhere. But the truth is, again, it will require way more work. It's going to take way more time. And let's say, for instance, they want to do that on every realm. Even though they post one on each of these realms for 99,000 gold, probably people are just going to buy it very quickly and the market will just sustain itself. So for this type of difficult items to get, I think the market is not going to be impacted too much. I think they're just going to have way more quantity everywhere, but I think the prices are not going to drop too much. What I'm really again concerned about are all these other items that unfortunately people will be able to overflood. And I think all these different markets are going to be hugely impacted by this change. Now, there is one thing that is very important to think about is how actually you can trade items. If it has to be a direct trade, so you need to open a trading window and everything, then it's going to limit a little bit these different transactions because people will have to have two different accounts in order to do that, or maybe sometimes three, and then they will have to coordinate and each time create two characters and do all these different type of things. So this is the first thing that we need to keep in mind. But if you can actually mail all these different items and all the gold and everything, then it's going to become so easy that probably, again, as I mentioned, the market on many realms is going to be impacted a lot. We've seen, for instance, with the region-wide auction house, how badly it impacted the prices. And unfortunately, again, I think on some realms, it's just going to have a very negative impact on a lot of markets. So anyway, this is the main news I wanted to share with you. So right now, for instance, please, if you were planning on purchasing some character transfers, please do not do that because again, in patch 10.1.5, you will actually be able to directly trade things with other characters. It's way easier, for instance, to just create another account or something like that and then just, do all these different trades rather than paying for all these different character transfers. Of course, we need to see what exactly will happen with that. Again, as I mentioned, will you be able to use mailbox or is it just direct transactions and everything? So let's see what will happen. Let's see if we can get more information from Blizzard. But this is a really huge change for patch 10.1.5 and something, again, that I think is going to change WoW economy forever. For instance, if I take patch 10.1.5, I'm thinking of all these new items, all the new cosmetics, all the new transmogs that you will be able to craft. Trust me that people are simply going to craft thousands of them and then just share them on every realm. And so like that, unfortunately, I think a lot of markets are going to crash very fast simply because people are going to do that and try to undercut as much as possible. So again, that's my speculations. I would love to hear from you. What do you think? Do you think this is a positive change overall? Do you think it's a negative one? Please let me know in the comments. I will be back very soon with more guides and more videos. And in the meantime, I wish you all a great Friday. Bye.